And here I am again. It's Larry Steinhouse, and this is the Larry Steinhouse Show, going on all day with this coach-a-thon. I am having such a blast. I'm learning some great things. I'm wondering if anybody out there is learning anything. If you are, I'd love to hear some comments to tell me a little bit about what you're learning, whether it's relevant to the people I'm interviewing or not. I just would love to know what you guys are doing. Unfortunately, I can't tell if you're watching. So the only way I can tell if you're watching is if you leave a comment. The software doesn't let me know that you're watching. It just lets me know if you leave comments. So if I'm not shouting out to you, I apologize. But if you leave a comment, I promise I will mention you in the comment. So today we have some fun stuff. We have some really cool people. I met these guys a while back. This is Craig and Jenny Dumnich, right?
Dumnich.
I've been trying.
It's okay.
And I met these guys, and these guys are really cool. They have I don't know. It's I'm going to have them explain to you in a minute, of course. But they do something that's really cool. They're health and wellness experts who understand both health and wellness. Boy, that made a lot of sense, right? But the idea of this is they understand how to take care of your body better and how to take care of your mind better. So why don't you guys say hi?
Hello.
Hello, Larry.
Thanks for having us on, Larry.
Thank you very much.
You are so welcome. So tell me a little bit about what you guys do, because this is like fascinating to me.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's great to be here. We appreciate everything. And what we really do is help people to redefine their success from a holistic standpoint. Bottom line. So we spend like the first 25 years of our adult life trying to build all of this wealth and build our businesses and all this great stuff. And then 25 years later, we're like, God, what happened to my life? Like, I'm starting to feel bad, and I'm tired all the time, and I put on all this weight, and my marriage sucks, and right, like everything's just falling apart. But you've got this great business, and we were there about 5 years ago. Like, life was falling apart. We had been really successful in the financial marketplace. We both had been executives in that arena, travel in the world, and speaking all over the place. And one day we woke up, and it was all falling apart.
So what were you doing before? What was it, the roles you guys were in before?
Yeah, we were both in sales roles in large corporate finance.
So if you were in sales role, sales is a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, right?
Yep.
I used to really enjoy sales. It's funny. I think that we're all in the same boat. I used to really enjoy sales, and then one day I just didn't like it anymore. And I think it was the same reason. I think it was just so stressful. And between commission, between having to run out and talk to clients, especially some clients that you didn't like, and you had to make the sale because the sale was so important. I just couldn't stand it anymore. Is that kind of like what you're saying, or is it different for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was. It's like having at the first when we were when we were in corporate, we were having fun. We were enjoying ourselves. It wasn't a job. It was more of a lifestyle because you had a corporate credit card. You could take people out. It was fun. And then after a while, you just realize that there's more out there than just this. The money was great, but all of a sudden it was like, what do you need to do? You need to change things up. And we thought for 6 years about how to really get our business going, how to start it. But then life got in the way, kids got in the way. Those are all of our excuses. And it turned out that, we should have probably got out of corporate 4 years prior because it just wasn't any fun. And I'll tell you, personally for me, I kept on telling myself, I love this job. I love this job. I love this job. And it was like this, the angel on one side and the devil on the other side, and going back and forth. And finally, it just had to go. And that was the best decision that we'd ever made.
So tell me about working together. So, you guys are just awesome working together. I mean, I see you guys at some events. I saw you guys recently at some of the Ryan Long events, and every time I see you guys always have a smile on your face. So you must be doing something right. Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, it's fun. I mean, we've been all over the country with you in the last 2 weeks, Larry. So it's been really neat to do that. Yeah. It wasn't always that way, right? So that's part of why we do what we do now, because through all of the work that we've done on our own mindset and breaking through the challenges that we had individually that were causing the struggles that we had in our marriage and in our financial situation with our kids, everything, we both did our own personal deep work to figure out what was going on inside of me, and then he had to figure out what was going on inside of him that was causing us to react the way we were to each other, to situations in our marriage. We have a blended family. We've got 5 kids. Reacting to all those things, we had to change our perception. We had to change what was going on within each one of us individually, and now we see the world from a whole different view, Larry. So it's is just great. And that's why we have this positive energy that people, this is what we hear all the time, right? People are like, you have so much positive energy. You're always smiling. Where's it come from? That's where it comes from. So that's really what we help other people do.
Well, so tell me, you said something, you just said, tell me about the problems in your marriage, and what were they, if you could reveal them?
Sure, absolutely. So we had, like we said, we had both been in corporate finance, started dating. He had 3 children, I had 1 at the time. And so we were trying to, during the phases of our dating, as it got more serious.
Did you have more while you were dating?
Together. What's that?
Did you have, you said you had 1 while you were dating, did you have more I'm kidding.
I had 1 before we started dating. He had 3. Let's clarify. And then after we got married, right? Eventually, we got married and had another, because that's what you do when there's challenges, right? You're like, well, maybe if we get married and maybe if we bring another kid into the situation, everything will magically get better. Wrong.
That's my favorite. My favorite is when someone says, "Let's have another child to save the marriage."
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So let's punish someone else.
Yeah.
So because we failed so badly, let's punish someone else, right? Yeah.
That didn't work. That didn't work. Things progressively got worse. But what the challenge was, I had gotten laid off, and then Craig got laid off 4 times over the course of 5 years, which created this stress financially for us, as well as blending all of these kids and keeping our marriage afloat and finding time to even spend with each other. And so there was a lot of resentment, right? There was a lot of resentment going on of both of us paying alimony out, both of us paying child support out. So money's going to other people. Enough money's not coming in. This kid's getting attention. That kid's not getting attention. All of this resentment was just creating this negative dynamic within our relationship. And we both had to work on ourselves and getting past that resentment. And being able to just see it for what it is and have a different perspective on the situation. And that's when it all changed.
So I'm trying to figure out. So you guys do health, and you guys do health. Obviously, you do health, but you also do mental. I didn't even know where I'm going with this.
Mindset work.
Yeah, thank you. Mindset work.
Yep.
You can tell. That's it. I'm getting tired. It's over. Goodbye. I'm done.
We'll get you energized, Larry.
I can't even remember my own name, my own words, which I constantly use, which is mindset. So tell me how you've combined both together.
Well, I mean, what happened is that we'd always been nutritionally fit and physically fit. And then what ended up happening is that Jennifer, she started losing weight. She lost 25% of her body weight. And you're like, wait a minute, you're all healthy. You're eating the right foods. You're exercising. You're doing all the right stuff. How in the world is that possible? Went to every doctor that we know. They did every test. They probed her. They prodded her. And they came back and said, we have no idea what's wrong. Everything looks good. We don't know what to do anymore. So that's when we decided to take things in our own hands. And to make a long story short, she went to a nutritional retreat that was actually giving her super good, organic, non-GMO, liquid vegetables. I mean, for an entire week, she actually gained 5 pounds. And most people are probably thinking, how in the world can you gain 5 pounds? Because you're getting good, solid food. But then they said, once you go home, you are going to be in that stressful situation, because stress was the cause of all these problems, and you are then going to start going back in your spiral again. So you need to get mindset work, and you need to get to a mindset coach. And once you do that, then things are going to get better. And at that point in time, she then got a mindset coach. Things start getting better, and that's whenever we said, we have got to tell the world about this. We want to change the paradigm of wellness in the world, and this is how we're going to go about doing it, because it's just not 1, 2, it's actually all 3, and the mindset, Larry, is the glue that holds it all together. And people don't really understand that completely, because it's not measurable. I mean, if you lose weight, it's measurable. You've lost a lot of weight, you can get on a scale, it's measurable. Whenever we take a look at exercise and you see bigger muscles, I mean, and more definition, that's measurable. Whenever it comes to mindset, you can't really measure it until you actually have gone through it. And then things start changing, and that is what has, helped us with our marriage, with our business, with both of our health, and that's what we want to help everybody else out with.
So you have, by the way, 2 fans right now on Facebook.
I saw Thane pop up.
Oh, you saw it up there? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Thane, how you doing?
How's it going, bud?
And Cynthia, too.
Cynthia's there, too. So let me mention that Thane and Cynthia,
Yeah.
they are the chefs at all of our total immersion retreats. So tremendous business partners of ours out of California, and they are just fantastic. They run a business called Assuaged, which we got to get them over here on the Larry Steinhouse Show,
works for
man.
me.
It's a
Sure,
long way
absolutely.
from California, but you guys have got to get out here for one. But fantastic human beings, and what they're doing to change the world is amazing. So it's health conscious living for your well-being. They've got an app and a website called Assuaged. Everybody should check it out.
That's if you guys
Sorry,
want
I had to do a commercial.
No, that's what I'm saying. Cindy and Thane, if you want to post the website on your on the comments, feel free to do that. That would be, I think that would be great, especially if these guys are endorsing you that
anything
much.
Health and wellness in regards to your nutrition, they can help with, and mindset. I mean, they're
phenomenal.
fantastic.
They really are.
So do you guys teach exercise as well?
We do. We actually, depending on the client, we not only have a membership program where people can get access to our fitness programs, which they are all under 20 minutes, by the way, and they're meant to be done anywhere, anytime with no equipment.
Can I do it right now?
You can.
All right,
You can do one to get you fired up, right?
What do I got to do? But I can only do so much because
we can have you scoot back your chair, and we can have you run with just your arms in your chair. We can do a total chair
workout. I'm ready. Here we go.
Yeah, come on,
all right, what do I do?
Ready?
What do I
All
do?
right, so just run as fast as you can with your arm. Come on, Larry, go. No, you're not running fast enough.
I'm getting dizzy.
All right.
Don't get dizzy.
I'm not going to stop. If you're telling me to do it, I'm doing it.
The whole time, man. Go. 20 minutes. Just keep running.
Can I do it long enough and be able to talk to it at the same time and push the buttons? Probably not.
Okay, probably not. But it's a good thought. Now we got you a little energized.
But I'm going to tell you that actually what was it? 10 seconds, 15 seconds?
Yeah.
I can feel the difference. So in 15 seconds, that was actually brilliant. I've never done, and I bet you that. And I always find this the most simplest things are the things that work the best. And I'm going to tell you that everybody out there should just do. Thanks, go Larry. Everybody out there should just do exactly what I just did, because you would be surprised at what it just did to me. I've been up since 5:30 because I've been preparing for this, and it's a bit rough and going through all of this. But on top of it, I would think you can do it at any time and just do it. I mean,
that's right.
And it makes a bit. It really did. It's great. Thank you so much for waking me up.
It's funny that you asked about the chair. What can I do right here?
Yeah.
We actually built an entire chair program
Wow.
because we have so many clients that have knee injuries. Because when you start doing this work, this is something crazy. You start doing this work, people end up with a lot of knee and foot injuries and sometimes hip injuries, because those are what move us forward.
You mean
life.
old age?
No, it's actually
no.
emotionally driven, because when we start doing this work, we're moving you forward in life, and your body builds up this resistance emotionally. So you'll get knee injuries, foot injuries, pain. And so we built these chair workouts because they'd be like, oh my God, I just tore something in my knee. I can't work out. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Here's your chair workout. So, everything's no equipment or minimal as possible.
No,
20 minutes.
that's awesome. So you have retreats. You got to tell me about your retreats, because I think your retreats. So some of the things I've heard about your retreats. I mean, I've heard people, and I don't know who that, but when we went to some of the Ryan Long events, I'm hearing people like, it changed their life.
Yeah.
So tell me about how. I realize you can't talk about an individual client. Maybe you can use an example of somebody, because I was blown away by the people who were saying great things about you.
Yeah, I mean, the retreats, when we first started them, we knew what we wanted, but we weren't exactly sure how everything was going to come out, just like whenever you probably started your show. But I will tell you that the transformation that happens at our retreats is mind-blowing. I've never seen anything like it ever before in my life. And a couple of things that people have said whenever they are there: they come in as strangers and they leave as family. They come in as strangers, leave as family. The transformation that happens, most people, they're like, they don't even know sometimes how to describe it. They're just like, you just have to come. You just have to come. And we keep our retreats in one location, and it's generally an Airbnb, a large home, and everybody stays in the same place. And so everybody can be vulnerable. Once you open up and you're vulnerable and you believe there's a safe place, because that's what we have created for everybody to be vulnerable, is a safe place, then they start changing. And we do movement, that's what we call exercise, because a lot of people don't like exercise, Larry, so we call it movement. Everybody can dance. Everybody can do something. You move. There's great nutrition because of Thane and Cynthia. And then we also have our mindset coach from Switzerland, Cami. She actually comes over and she does a lot of the mindset work. And we do this for 5 to 6 days. And as an example of some of the people, of the transformations, I will tell you that one of our one of our clients, Nicholas, who is a cancer survivor, he just actually had 11 years. It was yesterday that he is in remission from cancer. And
by the way, I've met Nicholas,
and
Nicholas is an amazing guy.
Isn't he? Though?
Continue. So I just want to let you know that I just want to let the audience know that I've seen this guy. And the guy. I got me. He walks around with a smile that you have on your face right now, Jenny, and I think that's awesome. But I'm sorry. Why don't you continue? I just had to say that because I thought it was awesome.
Well, thank you. Because he is. I mean, he is amazing. I mean, he is somebody that everybody should strive to. I mean, he has gone through so much, and we could be here for another hour for me telling you all that, but he has gone through so much, and he strived so much. But whenever him and his family came to us, he was very low on energy. And just like a lot of people are in America today. And what we actually did is we actually helped him get his energy levels up by getting movement in, working on the mindset, getting better nutrition in. And it turned out that then he actually opened up another business. And he had the energy to do that. And every single day, he just has the energy to help other people. And that is what is amazing about, a lot of the stuff that we ended up doing by creating this more energy for people, by helping them with their relationships. And that's where it comes to their wealth, their relationships with other people, not just their personal relationships with their loved ones, but also in work relationships. We help people create all these opportunities that are right there before them that they couldn't even see and they weren't able to touch. And now they can actually touch these opportunities, and it changes it.
So someone goes to one of your retreats. What would they? So they show up. I guess they show up at a bed and breakfast, like you said, right? So what do they expect? They come in, they check in, they see you guys smiling, and what do they expect next?
Oh man, it is so much fun. So it is a great balance of relaxation, rejuvenation, and deep dive work into yourself.
Am I going to have to chair run?
You're going to have to what?
Am I going to have to chair run if I go?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. You're going to have to chair run, do pool workouts. You're going to have to eat amazing food because Cynthia and Thane do not let us go hungry ever. No. And you're going to really have to be open and vulnerable and willing to look into yourself. Because if you're not willing to look into yourself while you're there, we really can't help you, right? So, but first of all, we've never had somebody to come that's not willing to look into themselves.
By the way, thank you, Cynthia. She posted the website, so thank you, Cynthia. I appreciate
sweet.
that.
Excellent. And I saw Michelle hop on. Hi, Michelle.
She posted your website.
Hey, Michelle.
But I just want to because I was about to ask you, but if you guys look down, you can see that Cynthia posted the website, craigandjenny.d.com/retreats. But guys, so what
Cynthia.
else? So what else do they see?
Yeah, so we spend about half of our time in sessions where we're working in this deep dive arena to figure out what's going on with you. What are your patterns as far as nutrition's concerned, movement concerned, mindset, relationships, your business, finances? What are your patterns in all of these places? Once we help you to identify your patterns, we then just start breaking through them. So we may be there from anywhere from 5 to 8 days, depending on the particular retreat. First day, we spend identifying all your patterns. Dates 2 to 5 or 2 to 8, we spend breaking through those patterns. So you'll have one-on-one sessions with the mindset coach. We'll have group sessions doing it. We'll just complete transformation. And by the way, you will go home with so much less inflammation in your body because everything you put in your body will be organic and non-GMO. And there's a couple other tricks we throw in there that I can't tell on here. It might scare people away. But it doesn't even matter. The food's so delicious. I won't give away your secret.
What are you going to make me eat? I'm getting worried.
No, clean eating. We had people who literally felt massive transformation in their body when they leave there just over 5 days. Mm-hmm. And what happens is, so you come in day one and you're eating a ton of food because it tastes so good. By day 5, we have so many leftovers because what happens is when you start eating clean and your body cleanses itself, you actually eat less food. You don't want to eat as much. And so it's an amazing transformation where people are eating mass amounts of food when they come in the door on the first night. And by day 5, we literally have half the food at every meal left over that we have to pack up and take home and stuff because people just can't eat as much because their body doesn't need it.
Yeah, it's true. Like
They're
Cynthia and
absorbing
Thane, I mean, they've said, they used to spend $1,500 a month on food, roughly around that. I don't have maybe all my numbers correct. But then once they went organic and they went non-GMO, then they ended up cutting their bill in half. And you're wondering, how in the world is that possible?
Yeah.
It's because what goes on is that we actually don't get, when we get good, clean food, and we don't actually have to eat as much. And whenever we eat, most of us, they think once it goes in our stomach, we actually start getting that nutrition. That's not true. Once it goes into our intestinal tract, that's whenever we start getting nutrition. When you get good, clean food and it goes there, you don't feel hungry.
All right. So I have a very interesting question for you.
Okay.
Ooh, I like it.
What's a GMO?
Ooh.
Genetically modified organism. So Monsanto, you've heard of that company
Absolutely,
before?
sure.
Yeah, you probably at some
They
point
have a lot of bad. They have a
of.
lot of. I mean, no, I actually didn't. But it's not my stock. Not
Well,
that,
so
but,
interesting.
But they have a lot of bad press.
When
Yeah,
we
they
were
do.
back in finance, we did. Like, we were out there pushing this mutual fund that had that in there. Like, and I think back now, I'm like, oh my God. I was like financing
Live
this
and learn.
company back in the day, right?
Don't they make linoleum?
What's that?
Don't they make linoleum?
We're probably eating linoleum
Well,
that
they
they
make-
made. I don't know.
They make
right?
Roundup.
But so they genetically modify all these seeds so that they're pest resistant, right? So that so then we don't have to use any of these insecticides and pesticides and all this stuff.
So isn't that a good thing?
No, because think about it, if it's killing off the pests that want to eat it, what do you think it's doing to your body?
Oh no,
Right?
I'm just
Yeah,
I'm just saying that
Well,
their thought is
increases mass quantity
right.
of food.
So because obviously there's got to be one or two advocates for them. I happen to not be, but
Yeah.
they have to. So they would be the contrary and say, well, there's no pesticides on your food now. We win.
You have a greater food supply, right? We have a greater
Right,
food
that's
supply, so
right.
now food's cheaper. The problem is that our body doesn't know how to digest all of that
Oh,
food.
that's it. Okay.
And so just like all of the chemicals that we're putting in our food, all the stuff that's in pretty boxes that says it's made of whole grains and fruit juices, right? I mean, and then they add 10 tons of coloring to it. Our body doesn't know at the end of the day how to handle any of that, how to digest it. And it's creating massive amounts of inflammation, which is leading to increased rates of disease. I mean, all we have to do is look at rates of disease to know that we've got a massive problem in society.
So I totally agree. I think that most of the problems we have nowadays, everything from depression to cancer, is caused by the food we eat. I absolutely
Absolutely.
Right? People
Absolutely.
don't realize how much food impacts their mental state.
Right, absolutely.
People, they think food is just a weight issue,
Right.
a cholesterol, diabetes issue. Food impacts what we put into our body, greatly impacts the health of our brain and our emotions.
So your retreats are going to help people to eat better. They're going to help people to get their mindset.
They're going to help people to go home and make more money. They're going to help people get over their limiting beliefs about money. They're going to help them move past all of the not good enough, all of
Have
these
better
issues that are holding
relationships.
them back
Exactly.
in the relationships, business, finance, health, wellness.
So I
Everything
love
is
helping
covered.
people get over their limiting beliefs of money. Because that's my
That's what you
thing.
do.
I mean,
Yeah.
you guys know I lost 40 pounds with a friend of ours who's going to be here today. John Jubilee's
I
going to
know.
be here
I'm
today.
wondering if we're going to see him.
If you hang around, he'll be here. He'll
All
be here about 3 o'clock if you guys want to hang around.
It's our daughter's bus.
And it would be awesome. As a matter of fact, if you guys want to even come in and say hi to him, that'd be great. He's going to be here all night because I think he might be staying with me tonight only because of the time that he needs to fly back to
Right,
California. But if that would be great. But you guys understand that I also I was eating all this crap. I mean, the day you guys met me was hysterical. How much I weighed. I was 256. This morning I got on the scale. I was 219. And that was 2 months ago.
I was going to say that was
Yeah.
the end of July.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And everything you just said is absolutely true. I've noticed that I don't want to eat as much. It's not as bad. The foods I'm eating are much healthier. I feel fuller when I eat them. And even when if I'm binging, I'll binge on a watermelon or I'll binge
How
on.
dare you?
Right. Exactly. Right. And it's funny because I was out to dinner and it was funny. I happened to be out to dinner with John Jubilee a couple of days ago, and one of the things I was eating was I ate a bigger steak than I was supposed to eat. So I'm sitting there cheating by eating a bigger steak than I'm supposed to eat. I'm not cheating by having a piece of 750 calorie cake that's destroying my insides.
Exactly.
So it's funny how the difference in my mindset now about food.
Yeah, well, and tell them about your mindset with food. I mean, Craig, and it was much easier for me. When I came home 5 years ago and said I wanted to start changing the food in our house, he thought I was nuts. He says, I'm never eating that way. Now you ought to see him.
I hate doing this, but guess
We're
what?
out of time.
We're out of time.
Oh, it is
Isn't that
time, yeah.
terrible? So
It's
I'm
horrible.
going to do real quick. Can we? I know that that your website was posted, which is great.
Thank you, Cynthia.
But I want to ask you guys real quick, how can people get a hold of you so they can become maybe a client or go to one of your retreats or do whatever it is they need to do to be as happy as you guys?
Yeah, I mean, you can find us at Craig and Jenny D anywhere. So it's craigandjennyd.com, on Facebook, on Instagram. You can send us an email through there, and we are more than welcome to talk to you about all your endeavors, what's going on out there, so we can help you out, because we want you to discover the new you so you can figure out everything in your life that you're missing.
Yep.
That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to have you guys wave to the cameras and say goodbye.
Bye, everybody.